Good afternoon and welcome to the Coffee Access Travel Podcast. Get ready to embark on an exciting adventure through the vibrant world of news, culture, gastronomy, lifestyle, and tourism in Colombia's stunning coffee-growing region. I'm your host, Erin Donaldson, and I'm thrilled to have you here. So, grab your favorite cup of coffee, maybe even from the heart of the Coffee Axis, and join me as we dive into the rich flavors and fascinating stories that make this region truly special. Let's explore the magic where travel meets discovery. And in this episode, I'm here at Cafe Rato, one of my favorite coffee shops in the entire Coffee Axis. A place of wonderful spaces, indoor, outdoor, with good lighting. Not so great for the podcast, but I'm sure you'll forgive me because look at my background. It looks cool. It's here near Cable, it's easy to get to, and the internet is really nice. I recommend Cafe Rato for anyone who needs a place to come and work, meet with friends, or just spend a Sunday afternoon drinking a Irlandais, an Irish coffee with a little bit of whiskey, a little bit of coffee, and a little bit of cream. And really fast, before we get going on the interview I have lined up for today, I want to thank the sponsor of this episode. If you're thinking about making a move abroad, let me tell you about a superstar in the visa game, emigrando, which it basically means emigrating. Based in beautiful Pereira, this is an incredible team, has been securing visas for my family for over 10 years, and guess what? They never let us down. The secret sauce behind their success is none other than the amazing Luz Dari Ballesteros. With over 20 years of experience under her belt, Luz isn't just an expert, she's a visa wizard. She knows all the ins and outs, and thanks to her stellar relationships with the Cancilleria, that's the visa authority here in Colombia, and its staff, she navigates the process with ease. So, when you team up with Luz, you're not just getting a service, you're really getting a partner who handles everything with care. She breaks down the process into really clear, easy to understand steps, making it a breeze. And the best part, her prices are super fair. So if you're ready to take that leap, Emmy and Luz are your go-to guides for a smooth journey ahead. And coming up next is an interview with another expat here in Manizales who's going to tell you her experience getting her visa and living in Colombia. Stay tuned. So, I am here with my friend Cynthia. She's a good friend of mine here in Manizales. She's been here a few years, but I'm going to let her tell you her story. So, Cynthia, welcome. And before we dive into your experiences with Colombian visas, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Why did you come to Colombia? What's the experience like?
Okay, well, you just introduced me, so I'm Cynthia. I've been here about 5 years. I came to Colombia because my husband is Colombian, and he's from Manizales, so that's why we're here in Manizales. I'm actually really glad he's not from anywhere else. I was going to name any cities, but let's not do that.
So why Manizales? Why do you love Manizales?
Well, why do I love Manizales? Because it's actually hard to explain. It's a really, really nice city to live in. The climate for me is perfect because it's not very hot. It's also not freezing. Even when it's hot, there's a nice breeze. The people are friendly and warm and welcoming. There's a lot going on culturally. There's a big theater, Fundadores. There's tango. We both are tangueras. And I learned to dance tango here, thanks to Erin, actually. And what else? I could tie up your podcast for days telling people why.
This last time you decided to use Luz Dari with Emigrando, why and what was your experience like when you worked with her to get your visa put together?
Okay, well, this is actually my second time working with Luz Dari. I got my first visa on my own, but that was several years ago before they just made it very complicated. And then it was time to renew. It was time to actually apply for the residency visa, and that was an utter nightmare trying to do it on my own. And then Erin recommended Luz Dari, and my husband and I called her, and we went over to Pereira to see her in person, and she just said, okay, I need this, this, and this. Don't worry about that. I'll get it. And sign this and get your picture taken, and it was fine. And I had the visa in like, it just happened. And it was so much easier. And so this time, due to a recent change, well, not that recent, a couple of years ago, they changed the law and said if you have your visa that was granted like before this certain date 2 years ago, you're going to have to renew it or like register it or something. That's what we've both been through recently. So,
and what kind of visa do you have?
I have a residency visa. Oh, but by virtue of the first one it was very easy because I'm married to a Colombian. Someone coming in without that connection, I think there are a couple of extra hoops you would have to jump through, but Luz Dottie will help you with that. I mean, she was pretty amazing, actually. We went to her and she was like, that, no problem. And she goes, now, well, never mind. There's other types of visas that are more difficult. But so the second time I contacted her, and I really didn't want to go all the way over to Pereira again because it's like an hour or so. And she said, no problem, we can do it remotely. We did it through WhatsApp, voice messages back and forth, and some texting. She sent me a list of what she needed. I scanned and provided all the documents, sent them to her. No problem. The visa was just granted like late last week, and I just started working with her like a week earlier. And there's just one more thing I have to do, which is get the cedula, but that's nothing. And I can't recommend her highly enough. So you don't even have to be in Pereira or Manizales. You could be in Medellin or Bogota, I think, or, gosh, even Cartagena, because she'll work with you remotely. And she is amazing. I can't say that enough. It's just been very easy, and it could have been not so easy and a lot more expensive.
And that wraps up today's episode of the Coffee Access Travel Podcast, your go-to source for everything news, culture, and tourism in Colombia's coffee region. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe at patreon.com/coffeeaccesstravel, just like it is. And that's Access, A-X-I-S, not A-C-C. They always do it other ways. So, that's patreon.com/coffeeaccesstravel for exclusive updates and early access to new episodes, all for the price of a cup of coffee. And if you own a local business and you want to connect with our community of foreign residents and travelers, reach out to us at coffeeaccesstravel@gmail.com to learn more about sponsoring an episode just like what Luz did. Until next time, I'm your host, Erin Donaldson. See you next week.